Hey guys, this is John from US Dash Camera. Got a new product review which I'm very excited for because I personally use a Cellink battery, and this is the new version, the Cellink Neo. So this is the third version that I'm aware of a Cellink dash cam battery. Now, some people got a little confused by my review of the original Cellink battery B, because the original had a special type of connection where you could connect to both a always-on fuse and a fuse, an ACC fuse, or a fuse that's only on while your car is on. Version 2 cut that feature out where you could connect to a always-on fuse. So the original model, you could have it run until the Cellink battery died, and then it would switch to using your car battery. And I'm not sure why they did that. The batteries are so big, most people wouldn't even have to worry about draining their car battery. But they took that feature out, and in the version 2 it supposedly was better. But other than supposedly being able to charge faster, I'm not sure what else was different about it. It seemed like almost the exact same thing, but this one is a much bigger leap. Version 2 looked just like the original one too, where this one, they gave it a new name. Instead of battery B, they gave it this special name Neo, because it seems like a completely new product. So here you can see this says Neo 6, and there is a Neo external or extra battery, and Neo C, and I'm going to have to look into that because I don't know what that is. So let's go ahead and open it up. Now, I'm not sure if this is what it's going to look like. I actually have opened it already. I saw inside, but I'm not sure if this is what it's going to look like when you open it, because this was sent to me, like I said, for review by blackboxmycar.com, and sometimes the review units they send were already used or whatever, so it's possible that it's not going to look exactly like this. But anyways, this is the hard wiring cable. So this is what connects to the Cellink battery. This connects to a ground, which is very important, and this connects to a fuse. They recommend the ACC fuse or the accessory port, which means this is only on, or this should be connected to a fuse that's only on while your car is on. So when your car turns off, it should not get power. Now, there's an issue with some vehicles like Chevy Silverados where all of their fuses are on all the time, and that's a whole other issue. But if you drive a Silverado or a car with fuses that are always on, you might have to use something else or come up with this other solution. And I personally don't know how to get around that currently. But most cars don't have that issue. Most cars have fuses that are off when the car is off. So this is the 12-volt cigarette port adapter. So you would either use this or this. Basically, you're not going to get as much power from this, so it's going to charge a little slower, but it is a lot easier. So if you got an extra 12-volt port, you might want to consider this. I am planning on hardwiring it because it's a more temporary solution, and I want to see how quickly it charges. It's supposed to charge much quicker with this. This is the output. So if you're using something like Blackview camera, you will connect to this with the standard 12-volt plug that the Blackview cameras come with. Now, there's several other options though. You can get a 3-wire version. So if you are using a camera like Blacksys and Thinkware, those cameras cannot switch to parking mode with a 12-volt port like this. You actually need a 3-wire connection. So Blackview offers that 3-wire spliced connection, and then you will connect, for example, the Thinkware's hardwiring kit to the Cellink battery B, or Cellink Neo, with the 3 wires, the ground, the ACC wire, and the battery wire. So it's nice that Black Box My Car offers that. So if you're looking into buying one of these, double check what kind of connection your camera needs for parking mode, because that's very important. Comes with just some Velcro, which can be nice to install the battery somewhere but still have it be removable. Got a user's manual, which appears to be in Korean because this is a product from South Korea. Here is Bluetooth app user's manual written by Black Box My Car. Now, they did actually work with Cellink to produce this product. I think they had a lot of input on what they wanted the next generation to be. And then down here we're going to have the actual battery. So here it is. It's pretty heavy. I like that it's all metal, which is, it feels like much higher quality than the original. There you can see it's a rechargeable lithium iron phosphate battery, which supposedly is very good for something like being in a hot car. It's not going to have any issues getting too hot due to, your car sitting in the hot sun. Looks like it has some ridges here. I don't know if it has any function other than having some grip. Then here on the back we got an external or extra battery. Now I haven't seen that available anywhere. It might only be available in Korea, but hopefully it is available in the future. We got the output, and then with the input, as you can see, that's where the one of the 2 cables you choose will plug into there, and then we got a low, off, and high switch. So low will be if you are using the 12 volt cable, and high will be if you're using the hard wiring option. So overall it feels really high quality, and supposedly from what I've heard it charges a lot quicker than the previous battery B version 2, and it also supposedly lasts quite a bit longer. So I'm very excited to hear that and excited to test this out. I'm going to be using this with a Blackview DR590 2-channel. Now with 2-channel cameras, they do take more power than single-channel cameras, so you aren't going to get as long of recording time with the 2-channel ones, but these days I feel like a lot of people really want that 2-channel because you want parking protection front and rear. Someone could hit you from behind, and if you pull into a parking spot, your front camera doesn't do any good if it's not recording someone bumping into you from behind you. So let's go ahead and look at how this installs. Okay guys, excuse the loud noises. So we got here everything I'm going to be using for this installation. Here's the Blackview DR590 front and rear cameras. You know what? I just realized I forgot the power cord, but that's fine. I'm just showing you what we have here. This is an Adafuse which will be used to connect the Cellink. The Adafuse will connect to this, and you will need a crimper like this to get the Adafuse connected to that. And ideally you want something at least like this, which this is just a real cheap circuit tester. You connect this to metal part of your car, a ground, and when you touch the fuses you're gonna have this light up if it's on or off. So you want to make sure you're connecting it to a fuse that will only be on while the car is on. Typically that's going to be an ACC fuse. Some vehicles like Silverados, their fuses are all on, at least the Silverados I've had in the past. So you got to check that with this just in case, but I know the fuse I'm going to be using is an ACC fuse that's only on while the car is on. So let's go ahead and get this add a fuse going. So unfortunately, I forgot I don't have a tripod here, and I'm holding this with a gimbal. So basically you're going to insert the wire into the add a fuse and use that to clamp down on it so it's nice and tight. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So now this is nice and tight, it's not going anywhere. And you can see here there are two fuse slots. The top one I'm pointing at, facing the fuse on the top, is going to be the fuse you're taking out of your car. So then this spot will be the fuse you add for the dash cam. Now 3 amps should be fine, but Black Box My Car gives 20 amp fuses for whatever reason with their kits, but either way, any fuse is better than nothing, of course, so that's the whole point of this. I'm going to be putting in just whatever I have. So now the next thing, we're going to go check the fuse. So excuse the dirty carpet, but my fuse box is under the dash. A lot of cars have them there, so this is why I've in the past haven't really shown installations much, because it gets really hard to get under there. But most cars also have this little cover here, and that came off from here, so you can see which ones are which. I was originally going to use this number 12 ACCB, then I realized when testing it that that is always on, so that's why you want to test these. Now I checked fuse 24, the standard ACC fuse, and that one does not light up when I try it. So I'm going to see if I can get a view of this. Might not be able to, but trying my best. So the one I was going to try, you can see it lights up. And the one I am going to use doesn't light up. So again, make sure you get one of these and check what fuse you're using. It's important to not use something like, for example, your windshield wiper is on a certain fuse, or your airbags are on a certain fuse. You'll never want to use anything that's safety related, because if you need those and for whatever you do some bad wiring, if those don't work, that could be very dangerous. So don't skip this step. These only cost like $5 at, I've seen some for $3 even. I was just at the store getting the add fuse, and I think they were $6 at O'Reilly's, but you can get them cheaper at Walmart. So yeah, really don't skip that step. It's pretty important. So now I'm going to go and replace the fuse. So it is worth noting, with a lot of cars they use these low profile fuses, and mini fuses work in them. Mini fuses are much more common or easy to find in stores, I feel like. So if your car uses these low profile ones, don't worry about getting the low profile ones. And also, most cars have a fuse puller in their engine compartment fuse box, so this will make getting the fuse out much easier. Now, since the fuse I pulled out is a low profile fuse, I do got to use one of my own mini fuses, because this won't stick in. This isn't going to be able to stick into here, so you got to make sure to use the same fuse, 7.5. And I said you could use a 3 amp fuse, but I think I'm wrong there. Actually, the Cellink might have a higher amperage. I was just thinking about the dash camera. If you're using something like the Power Magic Pro, 3 amps would be fine. But so for now, I'm just going to use the 10, because that's what I happen to have on hand. So we'll stick these in and put this into the place that we pulled this out of. So now we got it back in place. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it, but next step is going to be grounding this. The ground is very important, so you're going to have to connect this to something metal, some part of the frame. Usually there's some sort of screw that connects to the frame down here, so I'm gonna look for that right now. Okay, so I did get it connected to a bolt to the frame, so the next step is to plug it in, and before I put it in my installation spot, I'm gonna test it out. So get in here and so I don't know if you heard it because I forgot that my Waze automatically starts when my Bluetooth in the car starts, so it cut the video, but
power supply is disconnected.
It did beep, so let's try. Oh, there we go. It is starting.
Dash cam is recording.
Don't know why it's not lighting up.
Power supply is disconnected.
Okay, it is actually lighting up. I just couldn't really see it. So, yep, it is turned on. That's the anchor camera I've been using. So I ended up installing it under my passenger seat. I routed it under here, and then you can see, hope you can see, a little bit of wire sticking out there. And it goes, I actually set it in a little box, just temporary until I get something better, just to keep it up off the carpet, give it a little protection, because there's a vent down there, which isn't ideal, but doesn't fit very well in my glove box. So now you just gotta plug your camera in, and in this case it's gonna be the Blackview DR590. So I got the camera installed up there. Forgot the power cord. I'm not actually at home, doing it in someone else's driveway, so I don't have the power cord plugged in, but obviously there would be two cables once it's done. So I have the cords wrapped up in here, and then it does go along here through the headliner, and then you can actually see it sticking out a little bit because this is a Prius hatchback, so it comes out there. And I did actually use those plastic clips because I didn't want to have to tear that plastic trim off. So normally I would take the trim off, but I'm not sure how permanent this is going to be. And then we got it there on that little half window. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted a Prius, is because it has this little window here, so the camera's right at the back of your car. Hey guys, so I've been using this in my Prius for about a week now, and I have to say I'm really impressed with it. I do still have a Cellink B version 2, and I originally reviewed the version 1. Now, I use this currently in my Tacoma with the expansion, and I gotta point out again that this supposedly might have an expansion. I'm not, as far as I was told, it might not come out in North America, or I'm not even sure about Korea, but yeah, this originally had an expansion available, so I bought that, and gives me double the charge. And before, with the old version, it actually had a third cable that came out here with a white plug. The white plug connected to a battery fuse. So a fuse that was always on. So that way when this died, your camera could run off your car battery too. And they took that out of the version 1.5 and version 2, which this one is. And one thing that I haven't really liked about Cellink batteries is there's no timer function. I really wish they would add that in, but regardless, this has been working very great for me. I've never, with my ThinkWare F800 or the F770 that I've been using, never had it die on me, at least with expansion, which is probably overkill. But I also would turn the ThinkWare camera off when I got home and parked in the garage. So with the power button, you just hold it down for 5 seconds, and then the next time you start up the car, it starts right up again, and then the next time you park, it'll go into parking mode, assuming you don't turn the camera off again. With Blackview cameras, there isn't as easy of a solution, because since this doesn't have a timer, if I don't want the camera recording overnight in the garage, then I would have to unplug the camera. But that means if I forget to plug the camera back in the next morning, I'm driving around without it recording, so I don't like that. But this, even though it's the same capacity, I was a little disappointed when I heard it was the same capacity. It lasts quite a bit longer, even for 2-channel cameras, and it charges a lot quicker. And I was very impressed with how quickly it charges. So here you can see there's a switch with a off, 5 amps, and 7 amps. So 7 amps is if you are hardwired, 5 amps is if you are just using the 12 volt. Now with the Cellink Neo, you can see here it's got a low and high. So low is going to be if you're using the 12 volt, high is going to be if you're hardwired. And on this one it's 9 amps, so they jumped it up a couple amps, and that's probably, or that's where you're getting that quicker charging. And you know, I've been testing it, just leaving it on with the Blackview camera running overnight in my garage, and typically in the morning it would be about 65% after anywhere from 10 to 13, 14 hours later. And I think it might have gotten a little lower than that, can't remember, but by the time I got to work, 10-15 minutes of driving, it was fully charged again. So if you have a 30-minute commute, you probably wouldn't ever have any issue ever. And even with my commute, it's really short. Usually it's only 10 minutes. I might eventually start running into trouble with it slowly not fully charging each way, but that's only if I'm only commuting. I go shopping, I go out, I go do other things. So like I've felt this week, I haven't had any issue with how quick this charges, and I don't think I've ever seen it less than 30% charged. So the way that works is you got this app. So when it starts up, if I already have it connected, so it found it and instantly connected, and after a few seconds there you can see it has 100%. Now it's not connected to anything, so it just says it's outputting power, but nothing's drawing from it, so it's basically all it's saying is that it's on and nothing's using it, nothing's charging it. Now there is, whoops, settings option and parking sustain mode. It doesn't seem to do anything yet. I looked online and people are saying that's not a function that actually works yet. What I would hope is if I wanted to park it somewhere and just shut off the camera, what I would like is if you can hit that and have it shut off, and then the next time your car starts up, have it start back up and switch back to on. That would be a solution to my issue where I like to turn off my dash camera, but Blackviews don't have the power button. So overall, I really like this. The big thing, of course, is how much it costs. This is $300 right now, which is quite a lot more than this. I believe this was like $200. $300 is a lot of money, and you know, this was just sent to me for review I probably would not have bought it if I had to pay myself. But it is really awesome. If you can afford it and want something very compact and sleek and with the Bluetooth functionality and convenience, like, this is definitely the best dash cam battery on the market right now, hands down. So if you are interested in purchasing this, I'll provide some links down in the description below. Like I said, this was sent to me for review by Black Box My Car. They sell through their own site or Amazon, so there will be a couple links down there if you're interested. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped. And if you like this video, I'd appreciate if you hit like and subscribe. And drive safe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.